Months of heavy rain and flooding have devastated farmers across the heartland, and for many, this season is a wash.
All right, so Ryan Heiniger tweeted this picture of his farm in Iowa with the caption, "Only way this field will have corn, knee-high by the 4th of July, is if I stand with a bag of seed upright against my leg." How sad is that?
And Q Conley in Nebraska tweeted, "Always remember one of my favorite Jason Aldean lyrics, quote, 'Lord, I never complain, I never ask why, but please don't let my dreams run dry,' end quote." But in this case, you know, it's looking quite the opposite.
Ed Brummels, also a farmer in Nebraska, he tweeted, "It's like we're trying to plant on top of a lake.
Look at that.
Planting will be over as soon as farmers continue to be frustrated with these very saturated soils." Yeah,
but look at that.
you tried to get out and move the soil, and you can't even move the soil.
And Brian Beagler in Minnesota says, gave up on corn, onto beans, and yes, that's rain coming in the background. They just can't catch a break. Now, this flooding is beyond frustrating, as you saw by those tweets. Farmers are fighting the clock to plant what they can, and they're worried about their livelihoods.
Linda Emanuel is a community health nurse for AgriSafe Network. She joins us now via Skype from North Bend, Nebraska. Thanks for joining us, Linda. We appreciate that. So in addition, certainly to what we've seen with the crops, how are these people doing mentally? How are our farmers doing mentally?
Yeah, so these are tough times, and you can sense that in the voice of those farmers within their tweets. Challenging times, it's one step in front of the other, but it seems like we're taking many hits. Along with the flooding, here in Nebraska, we were hit by that bomb cyclone. And so that set us back at least 2 to 3 weeks in our planting. Put that coupled along with the low commodity prices that we're experiencing and the consistent trade talks, it's challenging. It is tough.
Yeah, we want to talk about the mental health aspect, all of this. So are people breaking down? Are people asking for help if they are breaking down, emotionally?
Farmers are self-reliant, and we take care of ourselves normally, and it is difficult to ask for help. So here in Nebraska, I can tell that we're fairly resilient people, and they are talking within their groups. Farmers learn well from the elbow of another farmer. So they'll start there with their small communication groups, their family, their friends, their pastors. And then after that, they are starting to reach out to their primary care providers.
So Linda, with this $19 billion relief bill that was set out for all sorts of issues, farming and farmers included, has there been any numbers given to that as to how much aid farmers will receive from that?
Not yet. Going through our federal service agencies, going through all the application process, not exactly sure where things are. So there's that uncertainty that's out there. So being hopeful.
All right, let's talk about the more seasoned farmers versus the younger ones. Do the more seasoned ones deal with it better because they've been through it several times, or is ignorance bliss in this situation?
The seasoned guys they're much more adapted. So, we've been in these situations before where we felt burdened, a little non-trouted, and we always come back. And so absolutely. And so those conversations along with the younger ones, we are a 3-generational farm ourselves. And so I see our sons talking with my husband as well as my father-in-law, who's part of our operation. And so it's that communication that is helping and saying, we're going to get through this.
So how does this, because we don't know the personalities. I know these guys are meant to be tough and deal with it, but how do the stresses of these issues manifest themselves? Do farmers typically go quiet, keep it to themselves? How do you see problems, let's say, that are hidden or covered up?
Every personality is different, and everybody handles stress a little bit differently. Some farmers will isolate themselves. Mm-hmm. It may come out in anger. It may come out in anxieties. They may act like they're a little bit confused, a little bit cloudy, and not exactly sure what step to take next. So it's important that those around them, their family and their friends, notice those changes in behavior and start asking some questions. How are you feeling?
Okay, so where can they go for help?
So at AgriSafe, who I work for, we have a wonderful website, agrisafe.org. In there, we have some available resources under our Learning Lab. Also, reach out to their primary care providers, ask them what steps they can take if there's a behavioral health specialist nearby them. We've got some wonderful other resources. The rural health information has a great list of resources, and that can be found on the internet. And if it gets to the point of suicide, which we certainly hope it doesn't, but there is an 800 number to call, and that is 1-800-273-TALK.
All right, Linda, we appreciate
I
that.
appreciate that, Linda, talking to us this morning from AgriSafe Network.